All right, so here it is. It's time for the review of the Grosstraktor. As you saw before, I had a Let's Play video early on when I first got it. I can't say that I have a ton more games in it. In fact, we'll start off by looking at the service record. It's not super exciting, but it's getting better. I think when I left you in my review, in my Let's Play video, my stats were 29% win rate. So at 27 battles, I've moved it up to a 44% win rate. I think it'll go positive eventually. I just, when you buy things around the holidays, and for those of you that have been in the game for a couple of years, and I think this is I'm going to say this was my third winter, you will notice that during the Christmas break and then also during summer break, like the first couple weeks of summer break and the last couple weeks of summer break, the teams get really bad. And I think it's because the kids are off of school. Not that kids are bad players necessarily. I know that people really hate it when kids play, but some kids are pretty good. Like my son is better than a lot of the older guys. Not a lot, but some of the older guys that I run against. And he's 9. So it depends on the kid. But in general, the population kind of takes a dive during the holidays. So when I purchased this tractor, I was playing it during the holidays. Now, I got on board with it 2 days ago and started playing it again. I kind of stayed away from it for a little while to let the holidays kind of pass. And I played it this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I think I had like 10 games when I came into the weekend. When I left the weekend, I had a much higher win rate. I was up to 44%. So I think this tank will go positive pretty quickly. Probably within 100 battles, I'll be on the positive side of the percentages because the teams are just better. And that's a function of something that I can't completely control. I'm part of the team, so if I'm not carrying harder, and we talk about this all the time, and it does mean that I'm also part of the issue. But when you get so many bad players on, there's just it's kind of up to luck, and it seems to be that, I'm not able to take those unlucky battles and turn them around in this tank especially. And this is one of the things that this is the first review point I want to hit on. It is a tier 3 tractor that does not get, or tank, that does not get preferential matchmaking. So one of the issues that you're going to find is that you will be tiered into tier 5 battles, or brought into tier 5 battles. I don't want to say frequently, but probably 30% of the games you play are going to be at tiers 4 and 5, maybe more. If you add tier 4 in, yeah, definitely you get a lot of tier 4 games. So maybe like 60% at that point. But the other 40%, when you're top tank, it's a lot of fun. It's a derpy tank, so it's kind of like a tier 3 KV2, but a little bit faster. And here's my problem. When I go online, I see people's reviews of this tank, and they're all like, it's kind of like the TOG. Anybody that has tied this tank up with the TOG in a play style, they're either playing it with a 50% crew that really sucks with no perks or anything, or they just either don't know how to play, or they really haven't played the tank. They're just making comments on it, because this tank plays nothing like the TOG. If anything, it's like a derpy version of the S35, which is this tank. Now, this tank has a top speed of 37 and a traverse of 40. If we look on the Grosstraktor, it has a higher top speed and a lower traverse speed. So the Grosstraktor actually moves faster than the S35. It can move faster, though the traverse is a little lower. But it's a very capable tank. It is not slow by any means, and I find a lot of times when I go out into the battlefield with this, I'm right up neck and neck with like the Cruiser 4s, and I can almost keep up with the Lux. It takes a Lux or a Panzer 1C almost a quarter of the map to start outpacing me. So it's not a slow tank. Now, of course, it's not going to ever reach the top speed that those tanks reach, but it's not by any means sluggish. People are commenting. Now, once again, though, you've got to remember, I have a very good crew. He has off-road driving. My driver has off-road driving, and he's also got clutch braking. So I can turn faster and run faster than somebody that has like a 50% crew or 100% crew. So that does make a difference. And like any of these tanks in the game, they are crew dependent. So keep that in mind. If you get this tank and you put in a 50% crew, well, it's probably going to suck. You just have to be patient and keep running it till the crew gets good. Hopefully you'll be taking one of your already existing German crews and dumping them in with an extra loader. And as you can see here in my loadout, you have an extra loader in here. You could put another. I only have one medium crew that I don't use anymore. So these guys run all my German premium tanks, but I had to get an extra guy. And I purchased him at 100% so that I didn't have to deal with him being crappy. So yeah, this is the crew slots. You have a full German medium crew plus 1, and that's a bonus because the S35 only has 3. You're missing a whole bunch of guys. So this is a way for you to get your whole German crew trained at the lowest tiers available for premiums. Well, tier 2 is, but tier 3 is really where they're at. So I think this is a great crew trainer. Now, you'd want to start with an okay crew, though. If you put it, like I said, if you put a 75% crew in here, well, you're probably going to struggle. But if you have a decent crew that you can put in here and keep running them for extra experience, it's great. Experiences as far as the tank goes on the battlefield. Well, we'll get to that. Let's go ahead and go through the stats first. 320 hit points, which is about 60 to 80 hit points more than the other mediums on its tier. If we look at, like, let's see here. Well, let's look at the S35, 260. And let's look at, well, that's it, really. That's what I have in my garage. But most of them are around the 240 to 280 mark. So you got a little bit of extra health. And that does come in handy when you're being attacked. I apologize for my voice. I have a cold today, so I'm feeling better than I did yesterday, but it's still there. A 250 horsepower engine. Like I said, some people are going to complain about handling. I think it's plenty of power for the tank that it is. It keeps you out of trouble. You don't get going too fast, but you can get to where the battle is pretty quickly. Once again, a 44 mile an hour top speed, or kilometer per hour. It's really like 20 miles an hour. But that's decent. It's on par with other tanks of its class. So, okay, traverse speed. Now, once again, I have the clutch braking. That makes a difference. So I can turn faster than 36. I'm probably up to close to 40. In fact, to me, this tank feels like it turns better than the S35. Obviously, the numbers say different, but it feels more agile. The armor, why do we even bother talking about it? There literally is no armor. You got 14 on the front. That's enough to bounce a shot from maybe a tier 1 tank, and 8 on the back and sides of both the hull and the turret. That's useless. So you got to play carefully. Now, but this is a stat that you don't see on here. This tank has actually pretty decent gun depression at about, I think it's like -8 or -9, somewhere around there. And so what that gets you is that you can stay in a fairly hull down position and protect the body of your tank while lobbing these shells. And because it's an HE gun, I mean, you can use AP in it, but I wouldn't. I use HE and use heat if you have to. But the bullet arcs because it's an HE gun, so it goes boom, it goes up and over. So if you can get behind a hill and just expose that little part of your tank and boom, fire over and hit your enemy, you know, it's fun. It's aggravating for them because they don't have much to hit. If you fire and pull back, this tank, you know, reverses short distances. It accelerates to reverse speed pretty quickly, so they'll miss you quite often. And that's, you know, that's one of the benefits of this little tank. So, yeah, you use the gun depression to protect yourself, and you use the land around you to protect yourself. You have no armor, so you got to remember that. It is a medium tank, not a heavy. The gun. It's not super accurate. Let's look at the stats. It fires 10 shots a minute, which that's not bad. That's actually almost 11 shots with my crew. So you're looking at about 1 shot every 5.5 seconds. That's a pretty quick reload for a bullet that can potentially destroy another tier 3 tank in 1 shot. And I have 1 shot at a lot of tanks in this thing. They got to be light, but you can do it. It is very low penetration, obviously. We're looking at 43 with regular ammo, AP, and 30 with HE. So obviously, since it's only 5 or 6 pen less, HE is going to be the way to go. And then the gold rounds take you up to 87, which should allow you to penetrate most of the tanks that this runs against. And before we go out onto the battlefield, I am going to load some heat rounds, probably about 15 or 20. But I never use them. You don't need it because with HE, I mean, you do splash damage. So, you know, when you get to a tier 5 battle, your goal is to track the enemy for your teammates so that they can kill them. But when you do penetrate, the gold ammo only does, the heat ammo only does 110 damage. So it's low. It's like a regular gun. Though, once again, it's heat, so you have a chance of damaging modules and killing crew members and all that good stuff. Terrible dispersion at 0.55. Not an accurate gun. It's a close fire. You can snipe, and I've hit some tanks across, what's that little map, the Province. I've hit tanks all the way across the map at Province, but it doesn't happen quite often. You probably have to take 2 or 3 shots for you to hit. So it's just not an accurate gun. However, 2.2 aiming time, that's pretty dang fast. So we're good there. And lightweight, 780 kilograms. It's a little tank. Now, I want to talk about, once again, another issue with a TOG comparison. The TOG is a fast-firing DPM tank. This is, on its tier, more of a slow-firing KV2/M4 derper tank. So the differences are astounding. This tank is much more mobile than the TOG. And on top of that, it's small, right? Okay, it looks huge, right? This is a big tank, right? Let's put it next to the Ram 2. Oh, wait a minute. It's smaller than the Ram 2. Well, shorter anyway. Same length. But the Ram 2 is a kind of small tank. Let's put it next to the Super Pershing. Yeah, I mean, it's like Super Pershing size. It's just not huge. Now let's put it next to the TOG. So, get a nice good look. Here comes the TOG. Yeah, like 3 times the size. So it's not that big. Once again, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not a small tank, but here's the Grant. Same size. So when I think of a Grant, when I think of a Ram, I think of a fairly agile, smaller tank. And this is where this is at. It's not a light tank. It's a medium tank. Anyway, so now that we got that out of the way, this is not like the TOG in any way, shape, or form. Let's go on to the modules. I put in the vents to help my guys run better. Obviously, that you want to get the reload rate down as much as possible. I also am running the gun rammer. I'm sorry, the gun laying drive. There is not a gun rammer available for this tank. I'm running the gun laying drive to help aim faster, and then I have a wet ammo rack because I find that not only do the loaders die quite often, but you also get racked. I don't want to say frequently, but it happens enough. But once again, soft tank, easy exposure, people are going to rack you when they hit you. So same issue with the French tanks. That's the French tanks, the wet ammo rack was a perfect piece of hardware for some of those, like the AMX 1945 and stuff like that, because it protected your tank from getting racked. Same deal here. I want to prevent the damage if possible, because it's going to get damaged. And so that goes back to the crew training. It's probably a good idea to have safe stowage. That'll also reduce it. If I were running a solely Grosstraktor crew, I probably would want to have maybe as another perk would be repairs towards the end, and then of course brothers in arms as the 4th. If you ever get that far. I don't know. I never seem to play tanks long enough to get that far. So do I think it's worth it? Well, let's go out and run it. Like I said, it can be a little frustrating. I always have fun in the tank, and I usually have good battles, but, you know, artillery is going to go after you because you're a very soft target, and they're going to try to hit you and blow you up. So that does happen occasionally. I think I've been one-shotted probably 2 or 3 times in this tank. So you are a target for arty. You got to keep moving and be careful. So, and watch. I won't do it when we play because that always happens when I'm commentating. All right, let's go ahead and run this guy. See how she does. He, she, whatever. Well, we got a clan that got bottom tiered, those poor guys. And, yeah, tier 4 or 5. I mean, you know, this is not a good battle for this tank, and it's not a good map either, really, because of there's a lot of cover, at least, but there's not a lot of terrain to take advantage of my smallish size. All right, so we're going to go ahead and run this guy up and see what happens. You can see here, it's not that big of a tank. I mean, the Marder 38T is about the same height. It's a little tank. And it's not that slow either. Look here, okay? Stewart's taking off the PZ-1C. Yeah. But I'm as fast as the Panzer IV-H and the Chi-He, so, you know. And this tank accelerates nicely. You know, I'm already almost up to full speed. There we go, 44, right on the dot. Didn't take long to get there. You know, some of these tanks, that give you a top speed and you never reach it. But this tank is not bad speed-wise, so. Just gonna keep an eye out here. I'm not really going to get aggressive. Obviously, I'm a little guy. I'm here to provide intel. That T-40 would make a nice juicy target, though. Let's see if he's in a position where I can hit him. Not yet. I have a feeling This is probably a bad move. Let's see, there's that guy. Alright, Panzer 1C creeping along the wall. Where is he? See, and I'll never... Oh! I got his track. Yeah, and that's where your strength is. Now I got a Panzer 4H coming up ahead, so I need to get out of here. I need to just get in cover and get the freak out of here. But that's what your job is on these bigger battles. And you can see there, the Panzer, you know, the gun on this tank is not going to kill a Panzer 1C, and that Panzer 4H has got free reign in our capital, and I can't do anything against him, so I'm just going to run away. See if he chooses to come after me. Oh, we will never know. Uh-oh. Are these guys up here where they can see me? Yeah. So I'm going to go look for the artillery now because, uh-oh. Oh. Oh. Well, I hit the Matilda. Yeah, and our team is collapsing, so. But, went against the T-40. He saw me. I probably should have just kept going and tried to scoot around the corner. Oh, somebody was right behind me, too. You see that car just get crushed? Anyway. I killed somebody. Who did I kill? I don't even know who I killed. Huh. Well, we'll take a look at the end. I mean, do you remember me killing somebody? I don't. All right, as I was saying before, my wife was yelling for one of my kids. I don't know that necessarily the team could have done much better because, they got a pair of T-40s that were, you know, platooned together. These are great tanks. The T-40 is a great tank destroyer. They had 2 heavy tanks. I mean, how is that fair? They didn't give us anything. They gave us a SC, you know, I mean, this is, the SC, or S-35CA is a good tank destroyer, but against 2 heavy tanks, and there's not a single tank on here except for maybe the Marder 38T and the SC-35CA that I would consider great Tier 5 tanks. And actually, this isn't even Tier 5, it's Tier 4. So we got put on this map with a bunch of crappy tanks. And, of course, our 2 biggest tanks did do a lot of damage. These guys did what they could in the situation that they were in. But, you know, all right, so as I was saying, I got interrupted again, sorry. Yeah, they did what they could. Those guys did the best they could. Those are respectable damage amounts for, you know, those tanks. And look here, the T-40, look at that 12. I mean, how do you stop that? I was one of those. 360 hit points of that was mine. But here. So who did I kill? That's the question. Looks like I got the PZ-1C. Huh. I must have set him on fire. It knocked out the engine. Weird. I don't know how that translated into a kill, but I guess I got him. I thought it said like 39 damage, but okay. I did kill him, so. I spotted the Panzer IV, and I did 22 damage to the Matilda. So that's what it operates like in a Tier 5 game, and you know that you're going to find that. You just do the best you can. You kind of hold on, and it's not a bad experience. I wish we would have won that, but whatever. All right, so let's go and drive it again. Now, I'm definitely going to be targeted by the M7 Priest and the T-57 if they're any good. I like to go over to the right side of the map here. I don't really... Getting in the trench there, everybody goes over there and turns into a big slog. So usually what I do is I go hang out. When I'm starting on the north side, it's obviously the right side. When I'm on the south side, it's the left side. So I like that area there because it gives you a good kind of sniperish position to peck at things. But it's also close enough to the base that you can get back in time if things start to fall apart. So I've saved many a game because I've been down in this area holding this side. This poor 2-pounder, don't go too far. Probably will not do full damage. In fact, it didn't even hit. Might be a rock in front of him. I can't tell. Broke his track. Okay, so we got a bunch of tanks. Yeah, I can't see them. Dang it, they're all disappearing. Ugh. I'll try to lob one right there. Come on. Oh, I got my crappy mouse today. There we go. Well, that's not going to hurt them. Yeah, this mouse is bad. Dang it. I wish I would have had my... I forgot to get my other mouse. It's not good for precise aiming. It kind of jumps around. It's a crappy Microsoft mouse. Oh! Cruiser 3. He can do big damage with that Pecky gun of his. So, we'll just take him out. And that's what this tank is good for. It's really good for those small, soft, weak tanks. But then, here's the converse side. He's going to probably do some damage. And he killed my gunner, so I'm going to have to... And now that I'm spotted, the artillery is going to start firing at me. As you saw there, I got pecked at from artillery. Su-76 would be a perfect target. He disappeared. That 2-pounder will take that guy out. I'm going to get out of here. I need to get to Artie safe here at this point. Our team is not doing so good. Let's see here. Yeah, can't get a sight on him. No! Oh! Oh, sorry, Cruiser. Yep, that's the HE for you. Goes anywhere. Alright, so it's down here now. You hit that Su-76 yet? Nope. Panzer D. I need to be careful that I don't go too far because... we're going to have to start heading back to base in a minute. I think we lost that other side, so... I got to be careful because Artie's probably going to pre-aim there next time I come up. Yep. I'm not going to risk it again. Can I hit him? Yep. Nope. I'm going to track him. Perfect. Keep showing yourself like that. That's good. Good. Oh, they pushed too hard. All right, we know where the priest is now. This is not going well, but it could be worse, I guess. I'm going to pull up here. Still got that Su-76 lurking in somewhere down there. I don't think I'm spotted right now. There we go. Alright, so we can move up on that priest. Does he know I'm here? I think he's stuck. And you can see, this is where this tank really shines. It's on steer, it's a lot of fun. The priest is going to be right over here. Unfortunately, our 2-pounder is failing to take out the... Alright, now we got some motion going on. I don't think this guy can see me yet. He doesn't know I'm here. That would have hit, but... Alright, let's see here. Timing. Rats. Could have killed him, but... Oh, and I forgot to load gold, so obviously we're doing okay without it. Hey, I don't think I've gotten a top gun in this tank yet, so maybe one of these guys will be crabby enough to come back, and I'll be able to take him out, or I'll get one-shotted by the T-82. One of two things could happen. All right. Mater's in here fussing. That's okay. For those of you guys that don't know, Mater is my 2-year-old. He just walked in, and let's see if we can get in here. And uh-oh. Oh, guys, come on. Don't do it. Say hi, Mater.
Hi.
He's a good little guy. Man, I think our VA is there we go. I don't know if they killed him or oh. Well, I don't know if I don't think I'm going to get a top gun, but I'll definitely get the cap. So the PZ-3A is I can one-shot him if I can get him fast enough. He's probably on his way back, I would imagine. And if he does come, he'll probably come up on the side. Well, I'll let him come all the way up and be close enough to be proximity spotted. No point in getting wiggly. I'm in a pretty good position here to stay hidden, so. What is he thinking? He basically just gave up the game. All right, so, yeah, I mean, this is how a tier 3 battle should go. I got hit a couple times, but I've got plenty of health, so I held it together. I did have to fix my gunner. They killed my gunner, so or not killed him, but let's just say they injured him, and I bandaged him up and got him back in action for $3,000. But yeah, that's how a tier 3 battle runs in this tank. And you know, honestly, it's the same for the S. Yeah. This guy keeps saying we don't deserve to win. I said, but I do. And there is the final score. Yeah, look at that. A lot of damage. That's the most money I've made in this tank. I got to be honest with you. Usually I make about 13 to 15,000 with this. That's a lot of money. I got Invader. I got Bruiser. This is great. Still haven't gotten my mastery badge, the M badge. I don't think. I don't believe I have. No, I don't have an M badge yet. So, right? Maybe I do. I forget how to tell. I think it says M next to it, doesn't it? Hold on. No, 1 is the highest badge that I've gotten. I do not have my M badge for this tank. So, what are you going to do? But let's look at the score again. Of course, I was the top scorer, did 803 damage. That's high. Mater eating my cough drops for this tank. And 828 experience is decent. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is a big expense, obviously. But you get a month of premium. I still have 13 days of my premium time left from this tank. And you also get 3,500 gold. I still have...
Hi.
You like the tank? Yeah.
Hi.
So you want to say hi? Say hi.
Hi.
He said, I want to say hi. So 35 or 33, I think it was 3,500. So I've spent, 600 or 700 gold on upgrades and camo and other things for my tanks. But I still have 2,700 gold left. And, it's just, this has been... So, yeah, I love this tank. We'll run one more battle. I know, like I said, I know $33 is a pretty big investment. But I think in fun, I've definitely, let's say I've done 30 battles. I've funded my way back to that money. So I've paid $1 a battle. And, down the road, this is really going to pay off because, like I said, I still got the gold, I got the premium time, and I got the tank. So I think it's a good deal, even though it seems at first like, wow, it's expensive for a tier 3. Well, you're forgetting that you're getting the gold and the time. So that's my point. Let's go ahead and take this guy for one more battle, and then we will call it a night. And here we are on Kittens with Mittens. I'm going to get down into the city. That is the best ploy. If you play this map and you're new to the game, get into the city. Do not stay on the hill. Those people that stay on the hill are dead. You might as well just be dead because you're going to get shot as soon as you get spotted. So get in the city ASAP. caps lock. Oh, brother, here we go. Ah! Well, that's one down. These guys that sit up on the hill. It's like they're... I wonder if they're bots. That's something I think they possibly could be, because... Watch what's going on around us. Aww. Didn't get the kill. Okay, so now they've kind of settled. Come on, tank destroyer. T-18. Whoop, that was a bad move on my part. Now this tank isn't great for side scraping because it is fairly soft. But, I pulled out too far. Dang it, that was my bad. Come on, guys, get around behind him and shoot him. These guys need to push. They're taking too long to get back. S-35, don't go face to face with them. Oh, dang it, PZ-1C. Crowded streets. Try to stay in a group, but not crash into each other. Boy, that was a nice shot. Wow. Now here's a battle where I haven't done anything and just ever get hit. Got a couple shots on him, but... Come on. Oh, this 2D is making me nuts. Now, you can see here on Tier 3, yes, this is a big tank. But really, it's not much bigger than the Stewart. So, now the T-127 is a problem for me. These guys, fast. This is one of those small maps that just happens so quick. Wow, I got like 3 shots off. Talk about a fast-moving battle. And the S-35 for the win. 698 damage, 6 kills. Good job, Crusher. That's her Trusher. I didn't do anything. But got 10,000 credits, 339 experience. That's premium. Regular, it would have been 6,000 credits and 361 experience. Not a bad game. Like I said, I got 2 hits on. I didn't get to do much in that one. It's a fast-moving map. Sometimes if they all go into the city, then you have a long, drawn-out battle. But I was mostly just trying to stay alive after that T-18 hit me. So anyway, yeah, pretty cool. So like I said, once again, I think that the investment is worth it. Let's take a look at the stats again, because I've won 2 more games and lost 1. So it's going to change it probably up to like 45%. Oh, 47. There you go. See, very quickly this is going to become a plus percentage, I think, in this tank. I'm pretty positive that it will. So I'm enjoying this tank thoroughly. I definitely give it a thumbs up. I don't want too many of you to buy it because I don't want them to be a whole bunch of them out on the battlefield. You don't see them very often yet. I've seen them once in a while, but as you noticed today in the 3 battles that we covered, there were no other Grosstraktors out there. So they're not super popular. And once they pull them from the store, I can guarantee in a month or 2, you're going to be sitting on a pretty exclusive tank. There's not going to be a lot of people driving them. So people are going to be like, oh, what's that? And then you're going to come in on a Tier 3 battle and kill, 5 or 6 tanks, and they're all going to be like, dude, that thing's awesome. And you and I both know it's soft as heck, but I saw Panzer 2J the other day. I don't know how I'm getting on this, but, you don't see those ever on the battlefield. And I ran into one last night, or 2 nights ago, and people just ripped him to shreds. Like, within minutes, he was done. He's like, nice gold. And we're like, same to you. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this review. Like I said, everybody so far that's in my comments that's bought this tank has enjoyed it. So I can't say that it's a bad, sometimes I recommend a tank and people don't like it. But I think in general, the people that actually get past the bad reviews that are out there, once they get this tank in their hands and they start playing my little schnook here, they have fun. They have a good time, and it's a fun tank to play. So be sure to have a great night, man. Be sure to subscribe. We're going to keep doing more videos. And like I said, I try to get them. If I can do 2 a week, I'm doing good. I apologize. It's going a little slower now, but we are in our off season, which actually means I have to work harder because I'm really desperately trying to dig up work. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm ending this video now. I promise.